Hi, I am PixelPia, and you are welcome to Creative AI Explorer and the series The AI Challenge. In my last episode, we explored visual storytelling. 3 timelines, 1 character, and a lot of personality. Today, we are moving into writing, and we start where any good story begins, with an outline. This time, we are testing Claude Sonnet 4.5, ChatGPT, and Gemini Flash 2.5 to see how each one of them approach storytelling differently. Today, we are just working on a general idea and an outline for our time traveler's first day in this time zone. So with that said, let's move over to my computer. So here we are on my computer, and this is Claude Sonnet 4.5. And the reason I use this is because all other versions I have to upgrade. The prompt we are presenting to all 3 large language models is: the failed time traveler is a brilliant but slightly disheveled scientist stranded out of time, curious, sharp-witted, and just a bit exasperated by modern life. She wakes up in a modern city that feels both ordinary and alien. Describe this environment in vivid detail, then create a short outline for her first full day stranded in the modern world. Include 3 major moments: a discovery, a frustration, and a small victory, and keep her voice witty, intelligent, and slightly exasperated. Let's send it to Claude, and we have the same ready here in ChatGPT. And the third one is Gemini. And this is pretty fast since it's just text. So let's see what we have from Claude. The failed time travel, day 1. The strange new world. I wake up on the bench, uncomfortable things, apparently unchanged across centuries, in what the garish signage proclaims to be Riverside Park. The air tastes of exhaust and something sweet, greasy, wafting from a nearby car. Chrome and glass towers loom like crystalline mountains, their surfaces reflecting clouds in dizzying repetition. Everything gleams with an aggressive newness, yet somehow managed to look dirty. So that was quite a story made by Claude. Let's see what ChatGPT gave us. Much shorter, I must say. Let's see here. Scene: a stranger in the present. She wakes to the hum of the city, a low, constant electrical murmur that feels more like a heartbeat than a sound. The air is thick with exhaust and static. Glass towers flash like prisms. Each window a pixel in a vast machine. Metal beasts glide silently down the streets, their drivers lit by a screen brighter than the sun. People hurry past her with wires in their ears, talking to no one she can see. Billboards blink and shift, showing faces that speak, smile, and vanish before she can blink twice. Well, they got a little bit of technology in there with the tablet, but not as interesting as Claude, I must say. Now let's see what Gemini gave us. The air assaulted her first, a cacophony of synthetic hydrocarbons and something vaguely reminiscent of burnt sugar, utterly alien to the crisp, ozone-tinged temporal displacement she was accustomed to. She pushed herself up from the surprisingly uncomfortable bench and surveyed her surroundings. Glass and steel monoliths scraped a sky that even at this early hour seemed to hum with an artificial glow. Where were the elegant steam-powered automatons of her era? The gentle whir of etheric conduits. Well, that was our 3 stories. I think right now I do prefer Claude's, but we are gonna ask each of these a couple of questions. So we start here in Claude and ask Claude. Summarize in one sentence what emotion or question drives this outline. And the answer is the outline is driven by the tension between intellectual brilliance rendered powerless by mundane bureaucracy and the discovery that human connection transcends time itself. Let's ask ChatGPT the same question. The outline is driven by her restless curiosity, the sharp, uneasy wonder of a mind desperate to understand a future that has outgrown her time. And finally, let's ask Gemini. The central drive of the outline is exasperated curiosity as the time traveler is compelled to understand an alien modern world that constantly offends her sophisticated sensibilities. My next question is to each of them. Suggest a short fitting title for the story and propose a name for the failed time travel. And I know that Gemini already named her, so we are still sending the exactly same prompt to all 3. So Claude suggests Unmoored. The failed traveler's name is Dr. Iris Caldwell. Iris evocative of the eye, observation, the rainbow bridge between worlds. Caldwell, solid, scientific, slightly old-fashioned, suggesting someone perpetually out of step with her era, whichever era that happens to be. ChatGPT suggests title, A Brief History of Confusion. Name, Dr. Elara Quinn, temporal physicist, accidental exile and reluctant tourist in the future. And Gemini suggests title, The Chronological Nuisance. This title captures her accidental nature, her brilliance, and the slightly exasperated tone of her observations. Dr. Aris Thorne, as we already knew. Aris is sharp and slightly unusual, suggesting an intense intellect. Thorne implies a sharp wit and a tendency to prick the absurdities of the modern world. I like how Gemini and Claude both had explanations for their name, and only Gemini had an explanation for their title. I'm gonna ask a third question. Recommend which narrative point of view, first person, third person, etc., would best tell this version and why. And we're gonna send that to all 3 of them. Recommended first person point of view, why this works best. Voice is everything here. Iris' wit, exasperation and sharp observations are the story. First person lets her commentary flow naturally. Those parenthetical asides, the italicized frustration, the running scientific observations filtering through emotional exhaustion. In third person, we describe her being witty and exasperated. In first person, we experience her being witty and exasperated. There is an intimacy to her bewilderment that needs direct access to her thoughts. The unreliable expert. She's brilliant but unmoored. Confident in physics but baffled by social media. First person lets us ride that contradiction, trusting her scientific authority while watching her fumble at basic 2025 tasks. The gap between her internal competence and external helplessness becomes darkly funny. immediate disorientation. We're as lost as she is, seeing this ordinary world through alien eyes. Her first-person narration makes the familiar strange. Smartphones become glowing rectangles. Leisure becomes inexplicable. Wi-Fi becomes arcane mystery. We rediscover our world through her displacement. The only caveat, first-person past tense rather than present. She's logging or recording her experience with slight temporal distance, maintaining that scientists' instinct to document, even in crisis. It adds a layer of dark humor. She's narrating her own disasters with clinical precision. Okay, that feels exactly what I would like this story to be. ChatGPT, much shorter. For a brief history of confusion, close third-person limited is the strongest choice. It lets readers experience the future through Dr. Era Quinn's sharp, incredulous lens, catching every sardonic observation and scientific aside, while keeping just enough distance to highlight how alien the modern world appears to her. First person would confine the narrative too tightly inside her irritation, whereas third person limited gives us the texture of her thoughts and the comedy of watching her collide with the present. And let's see what Gemini suggested. The narrative point of view that would best tell this version of the story is first person. And here is why. Direct voice and wit. The core appeal of the character is witty, intelligent, and slightly exasperated voice. Only a first person perspective allows the reader to experience her unfiltered internal commentary as she observes the modern world. Her unique vocabulary, sophisticated comparisons, and charming exasperation, like calling the subway a subterranean hell carriage, are delivered instantly and directly. Focus on the interiority. The story is driven by her intellectual and emotional reaction to the new world. The exasperated curiosity. First-person point of view provides the deepest, most immediate access to her thoughts, allowing the story to the foreground, her internal analysis and scientific deduction as she processing things like the smart device and Wi-Fi. The aha moment. The small victory of deciphering the Wi-Fi works best when it's an internal intellectual triumph shared directly with the reader, solidifying the connection and making her seem truly brilliant. We have 3 outlines. I must say that Claude and Gemini probably has most in common. I think going forward I will use Claude's interpretation, but I will take some time after this video to really go through them, and in my next video we will pick one of these 3 to move forward with. We are still going to test it in all 3 large language models, but only one of the outlines. Which one would you pick? Please give me your comments down below this video. So that is our 3 outlines. In my next episode, we will use one of them as a blueprint and start writing our story, or start writing the failed time traveler's first day out of time. I am PixelPia, and this has been Creative AI Explorer and the series AI Challenge. I hope to see you back here in my next episode, and as always, stay curious. Bye. The failed time travel day 1. The strange new world. I wake up on the bench, uncomfortable things, apparently unchanged across centuries. in what the garish signage proclaims to be Riverside Park. The air tastes of exhaust and something sweet, greasy, wafting from a nearby car. Chrome and glass towers loom like crystalline mountains, their surfaces reflecting clouds in dizzying repetition. Everything gleams with an aggressive newness, yet somehow managed to look dirty. The people are the strangest part. They walk in bubbles of isolation, faces tilted downward towards glowing rectangles, fingers dancing across glass as though performing microsurgery. No one looks at anything. Not the sky, not each other, not a woman in a single lab coat who clearly slept in the public furniture. Their clothing is bafflingly casual, grown adults in what appears to be athletic garments, though they're manifesting not exercising. One man wears trousers that stop at his ankles intentionally. The sounds are relentless, a low-frequency hum puncturing by chirps, beeps, and buzzing. Car horns bleed into chromatic chaos. Somewhere, someone's rectangle is shouting about breaking news in a tone suggesting nothing has been whole for years. The sensory assault is like living inside a beehive designed by a particularly aggressive architect. And yet, the trees are still trees. The pigeons still waddle on with unearned confidence. Physics, blessedly, appears to be holding. And then we have the outline, the first day, morning, the discovery, infinite knowledge in every pocket. I observe people consulting their glowing rectangles with religious fervor. A helpful teenager, bless her, explains smartphones and the internet. You're telling me humans achieve distributed access to the sum total of human knowledge, and you use it to watch cats fall off furniture. I spent 2 hours in a library, still exists, small mercies, attempting to piece together what century I'm in. The discovery. I can access scientific journals, temporal physics papers, everything I need to calculate what went wrong. The horror. I need one of these smartphones and something called Wi-Fi to do it properly. Afternoon, the frustration, the tyranny of documentation. I attempt to acquire a smartphone. The store clerk, a glazed-eyed youth with immaculate facial hair, requires ID, proof of address, credit card, social security number, email address, blood type probably. I'm a temporal physicist, not a bureaucrat. I've revolutionized our understanding of causality, but I can't prove I live anywhere, apparently. I explain I'm from the future or past, strategic ambiguity. He thinks I'm doing a bit for a social media, whatever that is. I leave empty-handed, wondering if perhaps the 14th century had the right idea about simplicity. Evening, the small victory, the universal language. Hungry, exhausted, I found myself outside a pizza establishment. My pocket contains 3 buttons, lint, and a 1950s quarter. Long story. The owner, a woman with kind eyes and flour on her apron, catches me staring at the menu. I begin explaining temporal displacement theory, speaking too fast, too desperately. She interrupts. You look like you had a day. Sit. She brings me pizza. Glorious, unchanged, bless the Italians, and coffee. We talk not about time travel, about her daughter studying engineering, about whether anchovies are acceptable. They are, obviously. I realize human kindness requires no authentication, no documentation, no proof of temporal origin. She gives me her old phone, upgraded last month, just sitting in a drawer. Welcome to the neighborhood, Doc. You look like you belong here as much as anybody. I leave with a full stomach, a charged device, and the faintest suspicion that being stranded might not be entirely catastrophic. Evening notes logged on a borrowed device. Day 1 survival rate 100%, dignity remaining about 23%. Faith in humanity surprisingly intact. Tomorrow's priority. Locate parts for temporal recalibrator. Acquire charger. Determine why everyone is obsessed with avocado toast. The laws of thermodynamics still apply. That's something. Scene. A stranger in the present. She wakes to the hum of the city, a low, constant electrical murmur that feels more like a heartbeat than a sound. The air is thick with exhaust and static. Glass towers flash like prisms. Each window a pixel in a vast machine. Metal beasts glide silently down the streets, their drivers lit by a screen brighter than the sun. People hurry past her with wires in their ears, talking to no one she can see. Billboards blink and shift, showing faces that speak, smile, and vanish before she can blink twice. The sky feels wrong, a dull gray stitched with vapor trails. Everything hums, beeps, or vibrates. Even the air seems to buzz with invisible frequencies. She finds herself standing before a glass door that opens on its own. Charming, she mutters. Even doors are obedient now. Her coat, patched and singed from experiments that history will never remember, earns her sidelong glances. Her boots click on the slick concrete as she takes in the new century's contradictions. Miraculous, absurd, and utterly baffling. So ChatGPT was more general and didn't pick up on a central thing like Claude did. Claude focused a lot on the cell phone and the cell phone use, which made for a more interesting aspect of the story. Let's see the outline. Day 1, the lost equation of time. 1, the discovery, a pocket-sized miracle. She stumbles into a cafe to escape the wind, a sterile temple of caffeine and Wi-Fi. A glowing tablet sits unattended on the table. When she touches it, the screen wakes, flooding her with data, color, and infinite possibilities. Within moments, she's pulling up digital maps, weather reports, and videos of space telescopes orbiting Earth. They've done it, she breathes. They've democratized omniscience. Then the device chimes, battery low, and she sighs. So even the gods need charging. 2, the frustration, a battle with bureaucracy. Her attempt to find the scientific institution leads her to a labyrinth of automatic doors, metal detectors, and grim-faced receptionists. She tries to explain her credentials. Quantum chronodynamics, temporal field theory, but is met with raised eyebrows and polite suspicion. Do you have an appointment? Madam, she replies, I've just leapt across centuries. I didn't think to pencil myself in. Security eventually escorts her out, her dignity only slightly bruised. Remarkable, she mutters. We've achieved technological transcendence, but still require name tags. And 3, the small victory, reclaiming time. As dusk falls, she finds herself near a park. Children play under glowing street lamps, their laughter echoing against the skyline. She sits on the bench, pocket the abandoned tablet she borrowed, and begins sketching equations on a napkin from the cafe. For the first time all day, the world quiets enough for her to think. She watches a plane carve a slow arc across the sky and smiles faintly. All right, future, she says. You may have the gadgets, but I still have the equations. Now let's see what Gemini gave us. The air assaulted her first, a cacophony of synthetic hydrocarbons and something vaguely reminiscent of burnt sugar, utterly alien to the crisp, ozone-tinged temporal displacement she was accustomed to. She pushed herself up from the surprisingly uncomfortable bench and surveyed her surroundings. Glass and steel monoliths scraped a sky that even at this early hour seemed to hum with an artificial glow. Where were the elegant steam-powered automatons of her era? The gentle whir of etheric conduits. Instead, she was greeted by a dizzying ballet of carriages. Thousands of them she observed moving with alarming speed and a distinct lack of visible propulsion. Their surfaces gleamed with an impossible smooth finish, reflecting the harsh geometric angles of the buildings. Small rectangular contractions glowing with an internal light were clutched by every passing pedestrian, who to her immense frustration seemed utterly oblivious to the temporal anomaly in their midst. The noise, a relentless thrum of distant engines, the jarring squawk of an unseen fowl, and the incessant high-pitched chirping from the aforementioned glowing rectangles. This was not the future she had envisioned. It was far too loud. And where, for the love of chronitons, was the dignified attire? Everyone seemed to be swaddled in fabric that looked both flimsy and oddly functional. So I guess we have a little bit of the phone in here, but still not as central to the story or her first day as in Claude. Let's look at the outline here. The failed time traveler day 1, a most uncivilized awakening, mourning the discovery of smart device. Our time traveler, Dr. Aris Thorne, Gemini gave her a name, attempts to communicate with the local using her impeccably articulated, if slightly archaic, English. The local, utterly absorbed in their glowing rectangle, merely grunts. Aris, intrigued despite herself, manages to acquire one of these devices from a momentarily distracted individual. Aris' internal monologue, fascinating, a personal communication and information device, miniaturized to an astonishing degree. Though, judging by its processor's vacant expression, its primary function seems to be the cultivation of blissful ignorance. And what, pray tell, is a selfie? And then they created an image of her. Midday, the frustration of public transportation. Description: attempting to navigate the city, Aris encounters subway system. The sheer number of people crammed into metal tubes, the lack of spatial awareness, and the incessant high decibel announcement push her scientific patience to its limits. She tries to pay with a rare coin from 1888 to predictable results. Aris' internal monologue, unbelievable, a subterranean hell carriage, devoid of any discernible ventilation and filled with the collective exhalations of this many people. And the indignity of it all. They expect me to simply stand. Where are the individual pneumatic pods? And what in the name of Newton's third law is a tap card? Late afternoon, a small victory, deciphering the Wi-Fi. Retreating to a coffee shop, a place she notes that serves an alarmingly bitter concoction. Aris spends hours with the purloined device. Though through sheer force of intellect and a few accidental online purchases, she begins to decode the mysteries of Wi-Fi and the internet, finding a dizzying array of historical archives and current events. Though the sheer volume of cat videos is a puzzling anomaly. Aries' internal monologue. Aha, so this wireless fidelity is essentially a global distributed information network, crude perhaps in its interface and its mimetic content, but undeniably powerful. Though I must confess the human fascination with feline antics remains, to my scientific mind, utterly inexplicable. Still, knowledge is power, even if it comes packaged with infinite scrolling.